Broadfield. I'm a 29-year-old Tulsa-based poet and podcaster. My pronouns are she, they. I was born and raised in New Mexico. Back in 2021, my lovely spouse and I moved to Tulsa, and in the fall of that year began the next phase of my journey through gender-affirming hormones. While facing housing insecurity last year, I became active in my community as a peer-to-peer support. I marched on Trans Day of Visibility this year in protest and marched this year at Pride, representing the OKQ Gender Support Group. I also have a podcast. My podcast, Life Isn't That Bad, is in its third season. In it, I vocalize my struggles through life, transition, mental health, and the pandemic from 2020 to now. I'm here tonight to perform some of my poetry for you all. So this first poem is about summer. This poem is about being a queer in a society that often looks at us as like some kind of, what was that word they used in Florida earlier this year? Oh, right, mutants. Trust me, friends, I may not be a mutant, but I guess technically you could call me an X-Man. I guess it all leaves a girl no choice other than to swim with the fishes. It was a queer, sultry summer. Is that what Sylvia Plath would say? Let's not talk of Sylvia. The listless monotony, being from another planet, walking amongst the everyday sardines, stuffed into grocery stores, miserable, gaping openly at the facial hair on my chin. I wander through crowds like a Trojan horse. I'm not what I look like, inside an image in a funhouse mirror, distorted, an ever-shifting goalpost, as if the staircase to womanhood is a stair climber or a series of them. I can't stand this P.T. Barnum treatment freak show circus. Come one, come all, I'm the entertainment. This is my dress. Do you like it? I've memorized all my lines. Yes, I still have my number. Thank you for asking. No, I don't plan on it leaving me anytime soon. Thank you. No one asks me these things anymore. That time is gone. I live in my truth. I love who I am. That's the end of the first one. Woo! So I've been transitioning for about 6-ish years now. I came out publicly on Trans Day of Visibility 2020. My mom was supportive, but when I told my dad, he told me that God doesn't want me doing anything permanent to my body. I'm here tonight to counter that by saying that, this is the title of the next poem, by the way. I believe that God made me trans. And if you don't believe that, I can't help you. And God put me here amongst Tulsan queers and gave me a home. God made me an insomniac, keeps me up late. I was made this way, or did I become this way by God's will? Either way, I don't believe in God, or God is dead and we killed him, or God is an AI that we created and in turn created us, or God is every atom in existence. And God is the universe experiencing itself. You are God and I am God, and he or she or they or it is out there somewhere just pissing on us measly worms for trying to classify them. God made me queer. I wouldn't be here if the powers that be had never really wanted me. God made me gay. God is a homeless man on the subway, and God needs change for a soda or whatever God does to keep himself alive on the streets. God sleeps under an overpass, and God stands at a splash pad, soaked and screaming wildly about setting fire to the bathrooms. That's the end of the second one. So I wouldn't be here where I am today without my amazing spouse. They supported me every step of the way during my transition, and I know that whatever happens and wherever I go, I'm going to have my partner to back me up. So this next poem is a poem about how much I love them. I just love you, okay? I just do. Every time you look at me with your big brown eyes, I know it. I feel it. It's true. Because I love you, I know that I must continue to grow, do the work and show that I'm putting my best in. Sometimes I get caught up in things and you sit beside me as I let myself down. I might say some awful shit about myself, cry on the couch watching Steven Universe because it's kind and soft and I need to be reminded that I need to be both too. A few days later, I take a shower. I begin to do my part. I leave the house and reach out. My support network embraces me and helps me through it when you can't. I am a tempest at times, and you are the one who looks at the eye of the storm and sees the vulnerable, frightened woman laying naked at its core. I hope to dissipate the winds and let you hold me, pet my hair, tell me I'm safe. And we continue walking together down the beach, stepping over the wreckage of trees I fell in my malcontent. I am not a villain, and the storm may return. I am traumatized, but each time it does, I think I learn a little better how to calm my stormy weather. That was the third one. So now that we've gotten to know each other a little bit better, hi, Bailey Rodfield, podcaster and poet. I feel like we've done this already. So perhaps you all don't mind if I get a little bit more intimate with this next one. Let me tell you what scares me. Death and loneliness are my two greatest fears. Tell me, what are yours? Yes, I tend to isolate. In exhaustion, I choose to be alone at times so I can recharge because I need you to see me in small doses. Because otherwise you might have an allergic reaction to me or I, you. And I become alone again. During isolation, I think more of death, how final she is and how comforting her arms are, like being wrapped in a warm black blanket, the void so cold it almost feels comfortable. And in death, what is temperature anyway? I hope heaven isn't this hot. She's going to embrace us all, and no matter how violent the circumstance, I imagine she holds us each lovingly, gives us a kiss on the cheek and some gentle encouragement. Well done, she says. Wasn't that a good time? And we cry, our tears bubbling up from years of a life well lived. Miss, I'm sorry I hurt so many, we begin. The bony finger is placed upon our lips and we shush. She gazes through us and laughs. Perhaps you'll get a chance now to say sorry, or perhaps you can finally rest for good this night. But you worry about material things, yet you are now without form, little one. Why do you fret? And her arms open as she motions you for a hug. Will you fall into her arms there at the end, or will you argue with her still about everything you tried to do but couldn't in a world you have left behind? That's the end of that one. Woo! Gosh, it's hot. So I have one last poem for you all tonight. This one is about transition. I used to feel like kind of a monster, kind of like a walrus. Not me. So I started my journey. And you know what? She is me. I am the walrus. The person I was longing for my entire life was always, only, ever me. Past, present, and future. In times I was alone in bed, a hand placed upon the wall, so many rooms, so many days, so many times, in so many ways. I found my eyes locked upon the wall, longing, wishing, hoping somewhere in time someone was placing their hand mirroring mine across time and space. Their face pressed against cold paint, but we can taint those memories. Imagine how looking back, the person I wished was there was actually me, picking up slack, being the wiser, more mature version. Did you know I have a superpower? I bloomed like a flower, and all the times I've been beside myself with grief. What relief to know that I was there to hold me, comfort me, not physically, but my spirit was there. I had not met my future self before, so I could not see her face, but she is so beautiful. And I wonder faintly of the woman waiting to hold my hand across boundaries and time the next time I find when I cannot get out of bed. Thank you so much all for being a wonderful crowd. I'm sweating up a storm over here, oh my gosh. Please check out my podcast, Life Isn't That Bad, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and most other places podcasts can be found. An additional thanks to Carefree Queer Fest for having me here. My name is Bailey Rodfield. Enjoy the rest of the festival, everyone. Thank you, and have a good night.